Worryingly so, sir. Brigadier Vijay Sagar, a few of our soldiers are still missing.
हमारी आर्मी एक प्रोफेशनल आर्मी है।
पर इंडिया के साथ जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल है वो जानबूझकर नहीं समझाना चाहता।
आप जो सरकार को जिस तरह से घेरना चाहते हैं घेरिए, और इसके खत्म होने के बाद
टेररिज्म, क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म, ये सब नहीं चलने वाला।
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दों पर आपकी पकड़ भी हो कुछ ऐसी जो करे आपको और लोगों से अलग। तो ब्रिगेडियर डॉक्टर विजय सागर धीमान को YouTube, Facebook, Twitter पर फॉलो करना ना भूलें।
Hi viewers, welcome to our channel. Brigadier guides you on YouTube on the platform of VR1. This series of Gilgit Baltistan information is being brought to you courtesy International Institute of J&K Studies and Analysis, that is ITSA. So far in this series we have seen finally how the Gilgit Baltistan was annexed from Maharaja and given it to Pakistan by Major William Browns with the help of Captain, later Colonel Mirza Hasan Khan in 1947. Today we will see, after this region has come under the control of Pakistan, how did it treat? Did Pakistan make it a province of its own, or was it part of POK, that is Pakistan occupied Jammu Kashmir, or how did they treat this region? So we will see in this episode as to what exactly was the indifference and the exploitation done by Pakistan in this region. Well, Pakistan assumed full control of this territory in 1947. Maharaja Hari Singh of Jammu and Kashmir state or anyone from the Union of India never even contested Pakistani's claim. Pakistan made sure that this region is separated from Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir and remains devoid of any civil liberties, human rights, or even basic modern habitat. There was no single representation in administration or any courts, unlike in the case of Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Many a time, the cases for rights and privileges for the people of this region were contested in the courts of Pakistan, resulting many a verdict in favor of Gilgit Baltistan. In all cases, the government of Pakistan either could reverse the decision in higher court or offer some convincing argument to avoid implementation of the verdict of the court. The basic problem is that the Constitution of Pakistan does not consider this region as part of Pakistan even today. Well, in 1963, to make the matters worse, Pakistan unilaterally handed over approximately 5,000 kilometers of area of Shaksgam in Hunza to China. The Mir of Hunza protested, but to no avail. Thus, till 1970, there was no civil rights here in Gilgit Baltistan. Well, it continued to be under the tyranny of Pakistani army. The system of governance was same as during the British lead prior to 1947. Until now, it was a part of Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. But in April 1949, this region got bifurcated from Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir by an agreement signed between Pakistani Minister of Kashmir Affairs and Muhammad Ibrahim, President of POJK, along with Ghulam Abbas, President of Muslim Conference in Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The people of Gilgit Baltistan today strongly challenge this agreement as it did not have even a single representative of Gilgit Baltistan. Besides, this agreement also contradicts the United Nations Resolution 91 adopted on 30th March 1951 and UN Resolution 122 adopted on 24 January 1954. The age-old draconian law, that is Frontier Crime Regulations, that is FCR, since British regime, well, to crush the locals, was still in force. In 1990, there was an attempt to give some representation to the locals in this administration of this area, and it was renamed as Northern Areas. And the Northern Area Legislative Council was formed, but instead of electing the members, they used to be selected from Islamabad. This council was only in advisory role with no powers of final say. The final say was with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. And in 1974, Bhutto government abolished the state subject law in this area, which was still in force since Maharaja times, and went in for massive Sunni settlements in the garb of traders, mullahs, or even ex-servicemen. Aim was to change the demographic content. Well, the influx of outsider did not help the locals in any way, and they started resenting their presence. Shia Sunni riots became very common. Simultaneously, this region being in the vicinity of Northwest Frontier Province, lots of terror organizations, which are Sunni sect, started having their terror training camps in this area. The region also saw the worst Shia-Sunni riots in 1988 and 1992. In 1988, Brigadier Pervez Musharraf personally led the commandos and almost 1,000 terrorists from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to massacre the Shias in this region. On an instant, Osama bin Laden, who had his hideouts in this region, is believed to have led the Sunni terrorists to decimate the Shias. Well, needless to say that Shias retaliated with full force and survived. In 2009, this area was redesignated as Gilgit Baltistan. A sham assembly of locals was put in place, which had to take concurrence of Prime Minister of Pakistan for any decision taken yet again. And in 2018 and 2020, the important judgments came from Supreme Court of Pakistan in favor of Gilgit Baltistan. The Supreme Court of Pakistan directed the government of Pakistan to restore all constitutional rights, including human rights, to the citizens of Gilgit Baltistan. Well, elections were held on 15th of November 2020, but the mass rigging has forced the citizens of Gilgit Baltistan to take to the street against the sham victory of Imran Khan Party, PTI. Well, till now, whosoever was in control, yet the mineral resources of this region, that is uranium used for nuclear weapons, aluminum and titanium alloys used for weapons in outer space, gold and host of other important minerals were being mined either by the Pakistani private contractors or now the Chinese companies which were banned elsewhere in the other countries. The locals are not permitted the small-scale mining which they had been doing since ages. No project from China recruits locals, leading to severe unemployment, severe poverty, and sheer drudgery. The Chinese has constructed permanent residential colonies, resulting in impairment of local culture, traditions, and values. More than 50,000 Chinese are in this region, indulging in marrying the local girls to even change the demography of this region. As per a political activist, Shakur Khan, now in exile, I quote, Gilgit Baltistan had a population of 2 million. Now it has been reduced to approximately 14 lakhs. There are no civic amenities like potable water, electricity. The land and the forests have been exploited by the Pakistani generals and politicians and the bureaucrats for their personal gains. The basic food items coming from Pakistan are of poor quality and are available to public at exorbitant costs. The prominent activists like Colonel Hassan were jailed for 13 continuous years and his home was destroyed. His son Wajahat Aslam is also in exile to UK, unquote. Despite persecution from the government, a movement has been started for independence. The idea of independent Baltistan, comprising of the areas of Dardistan, Baltistan, Astor, and parts of Ladakh, is gaining ground. Today, there are high levels of discrimination, brutality, and victimization of the resident of Gilgit Baltistan by the government agencies. The gun culture, whether against Pakistan or China, is rampant. Soldiers of Northern Light Infantry of Pakistan Army, who are actually the residents of Gilgit Baltistan, feel slighted due to the sectarian issues. And also the no claim of dead bodies of Northern Light Infantry soldiers during Kargil by Pakistan irks them on continuous basis even today. The water resources of this region are being exploited for the gains of China or Pakistan. Electricity generated in the Bunji Dam and other water harness resources do not get shared with the locals. And the displaced people due to construction of these dams have not been compensated even today. Well, the people of Gilgit Baltistan are also aghast with the announcement of construction of Damer Basha Dam. The dam, though being in a geographical region of Basha, that is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, yet it is called Damer Basha Dam. This has been done to avoid paying the royalty to the province. Pakistan has cleverly avoided the issue by calling it a provincial province of Pakistan and not a fifth province of Pakistan in the constitution. The electricity produced will go to Pakistan or China, and large tracts of land in Gilgit Baltistan will be submerged in water, displacing 60,000 people in 30 villages. Compensation from Pakistan to these people are hard to come by. Ever since the construction of Karakoram highway started over Khunjre Pass, China has been looting all rich minerals like uranium, titanium, gold, and the forest resources to damage the biodiversity of the ecosystems in this region. Pakistan has also conducted the elections on 15th November 2020 in Gilgit Baltistan, but they are unlikely to bring any change to the lives of residents over here. Pakistan today has been forced by the rattled China to integrate this region in Constitution of Pakistan. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor CPEC passes through this region. If India integrates it back into its territory, the CPEC would cease to exist, and Pakistan has a dilemma on this. If Pakistan integrates this region as its fifth province, the case of integrating of whole of Jammu and Kashmir in Pakistan territory gets diluted in the proceedings of United Nations organization. But being a subservient vassal state of China, does it have a choice? Well, it does not have a choice. So Pakistan has no choice but to accept what the China says and protect China's interest of CPEC in all its entirety. Well friends, so this is how Pakistan has been treating Gilgit Baltistan till now. In the next episode, we will see what China has done to this region as part of its CPEC projects and what developments have taken place over there by the Chinese entries in person and Chinese colonies and Chinese personnel who have tried to dominate this region for a long time. So till then, keep viewing the initiative on Gilgit Baltistan brought to you by International Institute of J&K Studies and Analysis, IJSA, brought to you on the YouTube channel Brigadier Guides You on the portals of VR1. So till then, goodbye and Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Worryingly so, sir. Brigadier Vijay Sagar, few of our soldiers are still missing.
हमारी आर्मी एक प्रोफेशनल आर्मी है।
पर इंडिया के साथ जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल है वो जानबूझ कर नहीं समझाना चाहता।
आप जो सरकार को जिस तरह से घेरना चाहते हैं घेरिए, मगर इसके खत्म होने के बाद
टेररिज्म, क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म, ये सब नहीं चलेगा।
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दों पर आपकी पकड़ भी हो कुछ ऐसी जो करे आपको और लोगों से अलग। तो ब्रिगेडियर डॉक्टर विजय सागर धीमान को YouTube, Facebook, Twitter पर फॉलो करना ना भूलें।